fall to the floor.
Hello everybody, what is up? My name is Killsteam. I am back with another new Call of Duty World War II multiplayer video for you guys today. And now in today's video, we're going to be going over something very cool. I'm going to be going over my do's, my wants, and my changes I want for Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. So let's get right into this. Okay, so Call of Duty World War II is going to be an amazing game. Everybody is saying all good things about this game. I don't see anybody saying one really bad thing about this game. Now, there is a couple of things that we can look out for in the future and kind of be worried for in the future for World War II multiplayer. But right now, the gameplay aspect of the game itself, it is an amazing game. I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 from what I've seen, and it looks absolutely amazing. But there is a future for this game, guys, and this future could be dark or it could be very, very bright. So let's go right into the dark stuff. Okay, so we're going to start out for something a little bit different, and I haven't seen really anybody talking about this, but I've seen a lot of gameplay, and every time I see this happening on my screen, I just get a little bit of a sigh of disappointment, because when you get a kill in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer, you're going to get 50 points. Now, compare that to other Call of Duty games in Team Deathmatch, you'll get 100 points, and then sometimes you'll even get 125 in Infinite Warfare. But in Call of Duty World War II, it seems like you always get 50 points. Now, for an assist, sometimes it's 80 points. And even when you're capturing a flag, it's like, I believe it's only 100 points. In previous Call of Duty games, it would be 200 points, 250 points. And even when you get a kill while capturing a flag in multiplayer of this game, you're going to get only 75 points. Now, if you compare that to Black Ops 3, when you get a kill while capturing a flag in that game, you're going to get 200 points. Now, this is something I want changed in the beta or in definitely the full game itself, because I don't want to be grinding out score streaks for like the whole game and get my highest score streak at the very end of the game, call it in, and there's only 30 seconds left. Now, that's what I do not want to see, and that's what I want to have changed in Call of Duty World War II. I don't see like anybody, I don't see one person talking about how low the scores are for kills, for capturing flags, and all that in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. So I want this changed. I want to see the scores buff up a little bit. I want to see 100 points per kill. I want to see capturing a flag, you'll get 200 points while getting a kill while capturing a flag in World War II multiplayer. So hopefully they can actually change it up a little bit. They're definitely not going to be looking at this video like I only have like 1,000 some subscribers, so I don't think Sledgehammer Games is going to be looking at my video for feedback. But this is something I do want changed in the full game or even the beta for World War II. Okay, so another change I want to see in World War II multiplayer is less girl screaming, because I have watched at least 2 hours of solid raw footage of multiplayer, and I have loved it so far. It looks absolutely at least 9.5 out of 10. It looks absolutely incredible. But there is another thing I want to see changed, is the girls in multiplayer. I don't want the girls taken out fully, but I just want them to stop screaming less, because I have heard so many girls screaming so loud. Like, I know it's kind of horrific when you burn somebody with a flamethrower, but when you burn a woman in this game with a flamethrower, it is like, it's Pornhub on like steroids, guys. So just note that the girls hopefully will be, I mean, in the beta you guys might even see this hopefully note that these girls might scream very loud, and it might be very annoying to you guys, but I think they're gonna tone this down a little bit, because the screams and the horrific cries out of these girls sometimes, and it gets annoying, so hopefully they do change that. Okay, another want I want to see in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer, actually this is the first want I want to see in World War II multiplayer, is really good score streaks. Now, I think multiplayer relies on good score streaks. That's why Black Ops 3 did very well, because they did very good with their score streaks. And also Black Ops 2, they had amazing score streaks in that game. And it was actually, I think every one of those score streaks in Black Ops 2 put in a lot of work. So hopefully in World War II, I heard so far it's really balanced. The score streaks are really good. Some of them aren't that good. Some of them are really good. Some of them are bad. it's a good balance and mix with the score streaks in World War II multiplayer. So I'm hoping and I want them not to change this balance. I want to have a really good balance, but I also want to have some really good streaks I can call in and kill a lot of people with. And also, there is at least 3 or more score streaks that we have not seen yet, and I want to see dogs, something like a sentry gun, or also something like a hater or like a VSAT in multiplayer for those 3 or more score streaks. But who knows, they can actually add like 6 new score streaks that we have not even seen yet. But hopefully they do add one of those 3 or even all those 3 score streaks I mentioned that I want to see returning into World War II multiplayer. Like, come on, they have to add attack dogs. Like, that's the #1 thing I want to see in this game is attack dogs. Okay, so another want I want inside of multiplayer is party games. Now, people, you have to agree with me on this one right here. Party games it was amazing back in Black Ops 2. I do not know why they didn't include it back in Black Ops 3. They did some sort of party games, like gun game and all that, but in Black Ops 2, we had Sticks and Stones, we had One in the Chamber, we had all these crazy fun party games. I think Modern Warfare Remastered is something like that, because like every Weekend Warfare we have like Prop Hunt, we have Slasher, we have all these cool game modes that we get to do every weekend, but I want these game modes inside of the game permanently. So hopefully Sledgehammer Games has seen this feedback of wanting party games back and in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer, so hopefully they're going to implement that in the full game, or even the beta will get to test it out, because party games were just so much fun. Like, you might get bored of playing core team deathmatch, core domination, then you have a group of friends and you just want to say, yo, let's go play some party games. So we just go play some party games, Sticks and Stones, have fun, and just have a great time and chill in party games. So hopefully they can add this back, and I really do want this back in the full game or even in the beta. What I do not want to see in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer is crazy customization. I don't want to see any of that. I do not want to see Advanced Warfare all over again, because you guys got to remember, the same people who made Advanced Warfare are making this game. So hopefully they got feedback of people not liking the gingerbread man outfits, and they seen some of the memes that we made of the gingerbread man, the clown outfits back in Advanced Warfare. Hopefully they seen some of that, so they won't repeat what they did in Advanced Warfare with the insane customization that they did in that game, because that was the most insane customization out of any Call of Duty we have ever gotten, and it was just so ridiculous. So hopefully they understand where we're coming from with the crazy customization, and they won't put too much crazy shit in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. Now, we already seen some customization items. If you have not seen my video, which got like 1,000 views, thank you so much, guys. Go click the card on your screen, and I showed you and I talked about the customization that we already seen from the pre-order bonuses. Now, they have like yellow, red stuff on. Now, that's a little bit okay right now, but I don't want to see anybody running around with like a gingerbread outfit on or anything like that in World War II multiplayer. Like, just think about that for a second. Like, think about how World War II multiplayer is right now, and compare that to people running around with gingerbread outfits on, glowing blue camo guns, and just think about that. It would be very bad. Okay, so now for my only do I want for Call of Duty World War II multiplayer, and this is the most fearful thing of all that is threatening this game at this point. So, guys, this game has been incredibly good at balancing score streaks, balancing weapons, balancing gameplay, balancing everything. It seems really perfect in this game from what I have seen and what I have heard from people's opinions. So, now, this is the most fearful thing that can really, really ruin this game. Now, Xjaws tweeted out, he's a very popular, well, he was a popular Call of Duty YouTuber, but now he's coming back into the Call of Duty community recently after it got back on its feet, and he did say, so does anybody know if there's going to be more than 10 guns in the real game? Prestige is Key, popular Call of Duty YouTuber, replied by saying, I would say most definitely. Maybe at Michael Condrey can give us a hint. So he tagged Michael Condrey in there, so Michael Condrey did see this, and Michael Condrey replied by saying multiples of ... So, and then he replied by saying with the mysterious emoji eyes and all that stuff. But, guys, Michael Condrey deleted this tweet. It's no more on his Twitter. You cannot find that anymore on his Twitter. So, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? So, he tweeted out multiples of what? Multiples of 10 weapons. But the first thing that comes to my mind is multiples of weapons itself. and that means multiples of weapons. And what does that mean? Variants in World War II multiplayer. Now, this is not confirmed whatsoever, but right now this is like, I would say 75% or maybe 80% confirmed that we are going to be getting variants in World War II multiplayer. I won't be surprised if we do. We got them in Infinite Warfare. We got a lot of them in Infinite Warfare, but we didn't get any in BO3 or in MWR, and Advanced Warfare had a ton of insane, overpowered weapon variants. And if you guys remember the Obsidian Seed, the Speakeasy ASM-1, it was absolutely insane what those guns did. So those guns in that game, Advanced Warfare, was really pay to win. Now, I do not want to see Call of Duty World War II multiplayer becoming like a baby of Advanced Warfare, because I actually do think that they learned their lesson of really making overpowered variants of weapons from Advanced Warfare. Because Advanced Warfare, guys, there was so much negative feedback from these ASM-1 Speakeasy, a Battle Obsidian Steed. I have both of those weapons, and I absolutely dominate each lobby I go in because how overpowered they are. So hopefully they have learned their lesson of making with these overpowered variants in Advanced Warfare, and they're going to do something a little bit more fairly in Call of Duty World War II. But guys, this game still has a little bit of a chance of having no weapon variants, no weapon changing weapons in supply drops. Maybe there is somehow, some way, Activision and Sledgehammer Games can find a way to do only cosmetic stuff inside of supply drops for World War II. Now, if they can find a way to do this, it would be very amazing, but it's a small chance, because in Modern Warfare Remastered, and Infinite Warfare, and Black Ops 3, and Advanced Warfare, they all said that the games would have cosmetic only, but then they didn't sell as much as supply drops as they intended to. So then they said, we gotta do something to change this. And they thought of weapons and game-changing weapons, variants, and all that stuff. And they were like, we're going to put them in supply drops. So, bam, they put them in supply drops. But it has been getting progressively better over the years of each Call of Duty with new guns and new variants. And it's getting more fairer. Now, compare MWR to Advanced Warfare. Now, that is such a big game changer. MWR does still have some type of pay-to-win weapons, but compared to Advanced Warfare, it is absolutely a huge difference with pay-to-win weapons. So maybe somewhere this year for Call of Duty World War II, maybe we found the perfect formula to having very awesome and fair variants and weapons in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer, and maybe we'll have like some way to do challenges to get these weapons, because Infinite Warfare, I'm telling you right now, they're doing it right, because you have Season Pass, and whenever new weapons comes out, you get the free base weapons for free of the new weapons, and it's pretty cool how they do that. So maybe somewhere in this game, they found the right formula to do weapon variants and weapons in this game, but also to make it very fair. So that's a really good way, and I think they're going to do this right this year, because they have been getting everything square on right with score streaks, with gun balancing, and all that awesome stuff in this game. So I feel like somewhere they're going to find a fair point and fair stuff to do with supply drops and weapons variants and weapons this year for this Call of Duty. But there is the cosmic only route they can take as well, but I feel like that is less of a chance, because come on, they said it for the last 3 years or 4 years of Call of Duty that we're going to have cosmetic only, but it never worked out. So I think we're going to have to be getting weapons or weapon variants or something like that in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer, but I feel like they're going to make it fair this year, and I do think we're going to have an amazing year, but it is still the most fearful thing to look out for in this game, no doubt about it, guys. So I'm still going to have an eye out. I'm still going to be informing you if something does come up more about variants or weapons in Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. But yeah, guys, overall, this game is going to be a fantastic game this year. It is going to be one of the best, probably the best selling Call of Duties of all time. Now, I know I'm going crazy with that statement right there, but I won't be surprised if it does come true. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you agreed with me on all this stuff I mentioned today in this do's, don'ts, wants, and changes for multiplayer, hit the like button down below. And if you want to see anything happening differently or changed or wanting or do not want in multiplayer for World War II, I want your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. I'll be seeing you in the next video, guys. Peace out, and thanks for watching.